Hello YouTubers, it's OG Jedi here bringing you some WWE 2k15 gameplay. And today I want to talk about what I hope to see in WWE 2k16, which will be released this October, as it was announced about a week ago. So, on my wish list here, first thing I want is to bring back the entrances. Now, when I mean bring back the entrances, for when you create your wrestler, or if you want to just change anyone's entrance in general, the only entrances that are available are the entrances of the superstars that are already in the game and are currently in the game, not any past superstars. So superstars like Matter Jeff Hardy, John Morrison, Yoshitatsu, and even old school people like maybe the late Dusty Rhodes or Ted DiBiase, etc. All those entrances were taken out this year. Not sure why. Apparently, I heard it was due to the large files that each individual entrance were, and they said they were going to work to lower that and make it smaller to fit more in, or so. So that's one thing I hope to bring for it to come back. The next one is no doubles, and meaning the doubles for wrestlers. Now I don't get that. It's regardless if making all of these multiple superstars instead of just alternate attires, even if doing that doesn't guarantee that we'll get other wrestlers, I still feel it to be a waste of space, and just in general, just it's not even using the full game, because I don't even use most of these copies. I'd be more inclined to use them if they were alternate attires, but I don't. It just isn't really a point to it. I mean, only really big change is maybe they have a different entrance, different music, maybe a different moveset, rarely, but that's about it. I mean, doubles don't really serve a use. Only reason that they're really there are for the story modes, like the history modes, such as the Attitude Era and that kind of thing. But other than that, like, they're not really. Well, I don't really use them outside of that. In Universe mode or in general, just the exhibitions. So, number 3 are all the matches that were taken out. This year, we have a huge lack of just matches. Only matches that are in are the general matches. Ladder matches are only one-on-one matches and then 6-man matches. They don't have triple threat ladder matches or fatal 4-way ladder matches. They've taken out a lot of matches. Just the general basic matches that you see on TV on a daily basis are the only matches that are in the game. I don't know why they were taken out, but it was a very lackluster match selection this year, and I hope they bring more back, especially like and even adding more matches, such as the 3-way tag team matches, which I think they may have had it before, I'm not sure, but they need to add that back in. I mean, it's still fit in the general range of it's 6 people at max in a game or in a ring at once, and so I don't see why they can't have them be 3 tag teams fighting each other. The next one is bringing back Create an Arena, as well as other create options. Now, Create Arena, I really loved it because it gave each arena its own unique feel and dynamicness to it. Now all the arenas just feel plain and generic. I mean, even pay-per-view matches don't even seem larger than life because they're all in the same arena. The only thing different about it is the stage, which looks bigger, but aside from that, I mean, the arena itself is this generic size of a Raw or SmackDown. The only difference would be the NXT arena, but everything else, all pay-per-views and all Raw and SmackDowns, all the arenas are the same, and it just doesn't really feel different if you're playing in a different match. So, and going to Cause, they took out the option to create female wrestlers, which I don't know why, as well as all of the vast majority of options used in the create arenas and creating titles, entrances, creating movesets such as the finishers. Yeah, they just have taken a lot out, and hopefully they bring them back. And I mean, they've been in with they've had W2K has had WWE games for about 2 years now. I gave them the benefit of the doubt the first couple years, but 2K16 they should. I mean, they really should start bringing things back. I mean, I expect within this year and the next year that they start bringing more and more games back, or game modes back, such as those options. The next thing I hope for them to have would be to fix online. The online servers suck. I mean, it's not really sugarcoating that, they just plain suck. Also, the matchmaking, I don't like it. They took out the ability to just find a match that you want from the list of matches they have out. Yeah, you can't choose your own match to play. You have to go through the system of setting your favorite superstars, your favorite arenas, your favorite matches. And that just makes no sense. I mean, there's no freedom online whatsoever to just have fun. So, and especially in matchmaking where it takes all day to create or to create a match, to find other people, and it takes about a minute or so. And even if you find someone, they'll probably just leave the session anyway. That's what experiences I've had, which really hinders the ability to, complete the trophies, because a couple of the trophies require you to play online, and it's hard to do if you can't find any matches. Another one would be chamber entrances. Something I've been thinking about for a couple of years. I mean, in real life, they have entrances. I mean, they're not like their standard entrance because the chamber is down. They're just walking into a pod. I mean, if you have an entrance like that where they just have their signature entrance, like when they used to have in the Rumbles in the video games, where they had their signature entrance when they first come out for the Rumble, and then they just run into the ring. They can have something like that where they just have, I don't know, Kofi doing his boom thing at the stage, and then he just walks into a pod and just call it a day. Next one would be rivalries for universe mode. The problem with that, one of the problems I've experienced is that all the rivalries, all it is contender A fighting contender B in different various matches, and leading up to a certain stipulation match or even a regular match at a pay-per-view, which it makes no sense because that's not what happens in real life. Usually competitor A and competitor B will fight another superstar, and then the superstar that's part of the rivalry would just be either at ringside or commentary or even interfere in the match. And if they do have a 1-1 match before pay-per-view, it's usually a cutscene. I mean, it's usually an event where they're fighting each other, or it doesn't finish because it's a screwy thing that happens. So, yeah, I mean, the only time that the competitors should be fighting each other on a constant basis leading up to a pay-per-view will be tag matches, because you have competitor of the team 1, competitor A is fighting team 2 competitor A, and then he's fighting competitor B, and then competitor B of team 1 is fighting competitor 1 of team B and team, that thing. So, and then which could lead up to the tag team match, because the overall goal is to win a tag team match at the pay-per-view. So a 1-on-1 match doesn't really hinder anything. Next thing on the list would be transitions to backstage, which really only applies to matches of such as Falls Count Anywhere, because really it's Falls Count Anywhere, so you should be allowed to pin your opponent and go anywhere, even in the arena still, without going backstage. You should be able to fight on the sides of the ramp, because there's 2 big openings on those sides, and you just can't access it. You can only, it's the ringside, the ramp, and then the stage. You can't go on those sides on the sides of the ramp. I mean, it's right there. You should be able to access it, but you can't. So it's just, I don't know what's going on there, but that should be added in. Just adds more depth and more variety of things you can do. I mean, even if it's an OMG moment to get to that point, that still would be a nice little thing to have. Next on the list is custom animation celebrations. Now, I think in Here Comes the Pain, they had this option where when you create your wrestler, you can set and create how they celebrate after they win a match and a title match, which aside from just created wrestlers, a lot of regular superstars do not have the ability to do this. Like John Cena, he has a custom animation for when he wins a regular match and for when he wins a title match. And then people like The Undertaker, when they win a title match, it's just a generic title celebration. It's not, doesn't fit their character. It's just a generic one that 90% of the other superstars have. Only a few superstars really have that their own personalized animation for when they win matches. So that should be added back into the game to give more layers to every character in the game, just to make them that much more unique instead of having them all bland. Another thing that I really am a big proponent of is Road to WrestleMania. And with this, I'm not really a big fan of the reliving history experiences. I mean, when they brought it back, I think it was in 2013. It was the Attitude Era mode, I think it was, which was good for its time, but then they just keep doing it every year, and there's no replay value. With Road to WrestleMania, you could choose from a certain list of superstars, about 5 or so, and they each had their own storylines that they did. And then even in WWE 12, they all were connected, which was even better. That was even cool. But I liked the Road to WrestleManias, where each wrestler had their own storyline. They led up to WrestleMania, and then that was the end of it. I mean, it had replay value, and it was better because you didn't know how things were going to play out, what was going to happen, because it was something that the development team made, and so you just had to stay tuned and just see what happens. Aside from keep reliving the era of Stone Cold, The Rock, and don't get me wrong, I like all those wrestlers, but reliving things that they did back and forth, back-to-back games, it just gets tiresome. I mean, I see them all the time in real life. They go back to those moments. You have the DVDs, you have the network, you have YouTube, where you can already watch and relive them. So relive them on the game is just not needed. It's kind of oversaturated, in my opinion. Another one is back to universe would be increases in rivalry numbers. Now for pay-per-views, the max amount of matches on a pay-per-view is 7, and we can't change the match numbers in pay-per-view, which we should be able to, since we can customize the matches in regular shows, but pay-per-views we can't. So, and if we can't, and the max is 7, the rivalry cap number is only 6, yet there's 7 matches, so there's always that one match that doesn't belong. You could have like Santino versus I don't know, Alberto Del Rio, and it's not even any part of a story. It's just basically a filler match. But we should be able to have the option to have 7 rivalries, either to put the extra one on Raw or SmackDown, and each show has 5 matches, so it's not like you can't fit it on one of the shows. And that's it for me. That's the wish list I have. Comment down below for your list of options that you would like to have in 2K16 and beyond. Thanks for listening, and enjoy.